technical. I teach classes every day. It's always something.
Something new every day to pass the time away.
Yeah, we're live. Okay, let's go. All right, Vanessa, you can start.
Well, welcome everyone. My name is Vanessa Willis, and I am here with Trina and
Rick
Bird.
That's correct.
And REB Productions. So they're going to tell us a little bit about themselves and their businesses, and we are going to be enlightened and informed and schooled tonight. So, either one of you can start off. Just tell us a little bit about your history there.
Okay, Trina.
I'll go first. Okay, go ahead.
Trina is like the storyteller of the family, and she doesn't, forget anything. So I'm gonna let her go ahead on and start. Go ahead, Trina.
Well, we started this journey back in. Well, the journey actually began in 1979 when we got married. We got engaged in 77 and actually got married in 79 when he got out the Navy and I graduated college. So probably our business venture, I think we always had something going on. We started out together with a paper route. We had about 350 customers in a city called Pleasantville, and I think it was 350, maybe it was 1,350.
What?
The paper route.
Oh, yeah, we had 500 on one side of town and 700 on the other
side.
Yeah,
it was 1,300.
So something like about 1,300.
And we did that as a business. And I've always been in technology. So I developed this program to keep track of the billing and print the labels so that we could easily get paid for the delivery of the services. And that's kind of when, we really started. And then we both had full-time jobs. Rick was working in construction and I was working at the casino in the MIS department, which was called data processing back then.
Data processing, wow.
Yeah.
That's a long
and
technology there.
One of my bosses wanted me to develop a training program because we were transferring over from terminals to PCs. And she asked me to put together a program in hopes that I would fail because she didn't really like me. So she had me put together a program to start teaching the end users how to use the software programs that the data input people were doing collectively in one department. They decided that they were going to put the PCs out into the individual departments, and someone had to train them how to use the systems so that they would go from paper and pencil to inputting the information on the computer. And I did that, and when I got it up running successful, she took it away from me. And the reason she took it away from me was because all other departments that weren't affiliated with the model program started to call the MIS department asking for training programs and to automate their systems. And they were asking for me exclusively to come out and teach them. So of course,
she popular again, huh?
Yeah, she didn't like that. So she pulled me off of it, which was the best thing she ever did. Because when she did that, I was like, you know what? I'm good at this. I always wanted to be a school teacher anyway. And the reason I went to school for computers was because my dad told me it was going to be a big deal and to do that instead of being a teacher. And so,
he was right.
Yeah, he was right. And I decided to start my own business and teach people with my own company. And that's how it all got started. And we've been in business with the T-BYRDS Center since 1990 as a state-approved private vocational school. And it's ironic. I was actually talking to a woman at the state level just about a half hour ago because they're changing the dynamic of things on the state level. And it's a good change. So we may be a part of that because of our track record. So I'm excited about that. We decided back in 2012 or 14 to start a food truck business. We had this big bus that we converted into a techmobile where we would ride the techmobile to underserved areas that didn't have access to technology. And it was a great opportunity. The kids would get on and we would teach them games. We had those big box computers and, they took up a lot of space. And it was a big school bus where we had all the seats removed. And we would just teach them how to do, little small basic math kind of things with playing games and things like that. And then when the computers got to be a big deal inside the schools and people were buying them, it kind of lost the interest. So we had this big bus sitting out there for a couple of years doing nothing. So we decided to turn it into a food truck. And that was a business that Rick headed up. And that's like, it was fun. It was, we fed our students and he actually ran that. And then we decided we were going to move down to Maryland with our son. He's a single parent. And we wanted to come down and help him out. And the way he tricked us in doing it was he got us a lucrative contract with the food truck.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I'm like, yeah, I got to school. We own the building. I got to figure out something because I really was wanting to leave. And so I took the classes online. I made my whole curriculum online. And I'm still doing that. Of course, the pandemic has caused us to stop doing the food truck. And the prices for product is like crazy.
Yeah, it's just like, that's like through the roof. We normally go to like Web Restaurant and Sam's
Club, and prices are crazy.
It's just through the roof. Like for like peanut oil, canola oil, it's $57
a container.
A container.
Oh, really? Oh my goodness.
Which is only 2 quarts. So you talk about 64 ounces.
Yes.
And we used to get that for $12. We would use 3 of them, and that was like $30. I used to get upset when it was $12 because it would be on sale sometime for $11.99. We were at Sam's Club yesterday or Sunday, and it is $57 whatever it is. I don't know how many quarts it is.
No, it's 3 quarts. It's 3 quarts.
The same thing that used to be $11.99.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Crab meat. We were very popular with our crab and shrimp fries. That was like our biggest seller.
Yeah, that was our
and we used real crab meat and good quality shrimp. And that same crab meat is like $40 for 1 pound that we used to get for $9.99, $12.99 at the most.
So the inflation thing is real, huh?
Very real. So real. I don't know whether we'll go back to that, but we did love doing it. And I like doing it as well.
So, I mean, you've done so much. I mean, you've had so many vocations over the years. You've done more than most people do in their entire lives.
Oh, thank you for that. Well, like, it's like, I guess I want to say, like, not through genes, but we were always taught to work hard so we can play hard. And when you play hard, you enjoy it. I mean, like right now, the jobs.
We never played hard though. We worked like we never had that play part.
More or less was, what it's been into. We have fun with them. We have fun doing stuff. So that's what makes it a lot more pleasurable.
Yeah. So you have enjoyed what you've been doing.
Absolutely.
It seems like,
especially treated with a train.
Led to another, and you just took the opportunities as they came.
Absolutely.
And had fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the most exciting things we did, I want to tell this because this is a unique story. So one night, we're home. We always had late nights. We would always get home like 6, 7 o'clock. Our son, he was probably around 12 or 13 when we decided to start the business. So he wasn't we didn't have to worry about that issue. And one night I think he was out with his friends, or he might have been in his room, and we're just relaxing. And I'm looking at local cable channel, and I see this guy on TV teaching people how to golf. And I looked at him like, you know what? We need to do that for computers. We need to teach people how to use these software applications. Yeah. So I called the guy up, got the information, filled out the paperwork, got the approval. And the guy's like, look, we were really excited. This is going to, do really good for the community. Because I think some people were doing dog dog tricks, or it was a whole bunch of different variations of different talk shows. And the computer thing wasn't big at that time, and they were like, "Yeah, this will be great. Glad that you guys want to do it." So we get to the station, and the guy looked at us, and he couldn't believe what he saw.
Yes.
Thought we were from another culture,
another community, yeah,
another tiny community. But he was standing right there with the paper. What did he say?
You're right. He had a contract.
So he had a contract in his hand. So he signed the paperwork, and we started doing the show. It was a hit. If you go to South Jersey right now and you say T-Bird, they know us by the computer school, and they know us by our TV show. And we took it to another level. We taught people how to do things on the TV screen for free. This TV station didn't know how to really connect our computer to the TV screen and get the line in where they would feed it right into we would bring, where laptops weren't a big deal then. So we bring a big old desktop computer with the big old monitor and
screen.
This geeky guy, he figured out how to tap it in so that we could do live demos and show you, like, click over to the screen and show you how we were, how to use Microsoft Word or Word Perfect at that time. And we would take live phone calls, and people would call up and, well, I'm having trouble doing this. Can you show me how to do it? And we would do it right over the air within that hour. It was a hit.
Yes, it was.
We were like stars. It was so bad that Black Friday, when you would go to the store and try to get take advantage of those computer deals, if they heard us in the store talking, everybody would come over and grab us and, should we get this? Should we get that? It was a nightmare, to be honest with you. We just didn't
work in sales as well.
Yeah, so we
See, it's like the blessings have been following you wherever you went. And you just
kind of sort of, yep.
That is correct.
Enjoyed every moment of it. Yeah.
You're right.
So you've done so much. I mean, I've heard you say construction. You did data processing. You had the vocational school and the food truck. Besides the selling, indirectly selling. What has been your, if you can, what has been the most favorite, or what you enjoyed the most? If you had to choose, if you can choose.
That's a good question. Nobody has ever put it to us like that before, which is wow. I'm like the type of person I live in the now. So I would say the last thing I did was like the food truck. I really enjoyed that, and we always have been, Trina and I have always been entrepreneurs, but that food truck, it was a whole new, like, more or less mechanism in our life that we had to more or less grasp, teach ourselves, master it, and then right now we're to a point now where we're looking for somebody now. We have, like, believe it or not, she can tell you a story about this, but we have 3 food trucks, one that we operate and 2 that are not in operation now due to the COVID. And we're looking for people who can come up and actually work with us, meaning that we can want to lease it out. We can lease it out, and we can want to share
mentor,
because it's like a $3.5 billion business. It's like very lucrative. When we were out there, I'm just going to go over the highlights. We were very satisfied, and right now we are still rolling with the money that we had, which is 18 months ago now, because that's when the COVID hit. So it was very lucrative for us. But still in all, we want to share this. We want to be able to share this. And Trina's going to probably tell you the details.
Well, I'm going to answer her question before we go to that. So you picked the food truck. I can understand why you would pick the food truck.
Well, what did you? I know what you're going to pick, but go ahead.
He picked the food, Vanessa. He picked the food truck, and I understand why he picked the food truck. Rick didn't say, but his regular job, he was the district technology coordinator for the Pleasantville School District, which was 6 schools. Well, 5 schools and an administrative building. Sure. And his job full time was to put fires out. And he was in charge of the telephone systems, so that making sure that if a new person moved from one desk to another, or they had their problems or whatever,
Right, they
he
could
solved the
digital
issues with the
file
food
them.
truck.
Yeah.
I mean, with the phone system. So he really, and then on top of that, whatever I needed at the school, he would keep our
Right.
computers up. So I know he wants to stay far away from them for as long as he can.
But still, look at me. Here I am. I'm back on the computer.
But yeah, he attends my classes as a guest student.
No, I'm an honorary student.
Yeah,
Honorary.
he warms his seat. But I would pick my training. I really would. I love the food truck. Don't get me wrong. But if I had to pick two of them, between the two of them, I would pick my training because it's less physical.
Okay. So training and teaching other people how
And I
to
love
do.
that part. Yeah, I love seeing, like, my students now are in, I think, like week 7 or 8, and they are
Yes.
doing so well. And especially one student in particular, she just lost her son a few months ago, and this was a therapeutic decision for her to attend the class. And she did get laid off from her job, so she's attending because of the situation. And she has just grown so much with taking this class, and just to be able to see her be a part of her growth. Not that she's still like, his birthday was yesterday, and we just were there to support her and get her through that day. And I told her, just celebrate his birthday, opposed to thinking about it being sad. And by the end of the class, she said to me, she said, Trina, I'm so glad that you said that to me, because I'm going to make it my business today to celebrate his life instead of mourning his death. And that was really heartfelt to me, because I was actually in a position to do more than just teach. And I always
you were just a tool to help
her
out.
So you have touched, both of you have touched many, many lives over the years. And I'm just wondering, I mean, who has touched your life? That's one. And the next one, before I forget, this is totally unrelated. How has it been? Because you got married in 79, you got engaged in 77. How has it been working together all these years? Because that's a long time to work together as well.
Wow.
Oh, we want to kill each other every now and then.
Yeah. If you look like, I'm looking at a smile. It looked like a fake smile. She want to hit me now. But at any rate, we
like a glove. We're like,
we like
we
a
just
hand in glove. I mean, we were like soulmates from
high school. Yeah.
And we've been together since then. Really.
What makes us? Now. I think what makes us work is God blessed us with the things that Rick does good. I don't like to do the things that I do good. He doesn't like to do. And so we fill in each other. We connect like that because
like we complement each other.
Yeah. So we don't really. I mean, we are. We still do have competition between us. Like, we just bought this. My son just bought us this Oculus, and Rick's up to 50-something thousand points, and I'm only at 13. So, it's on.
So I give her some lessons. Like, if she wants some lessons, I'll teach.
We play cards every night, and we keep a little book where we play 500. We're very competitive. Don't get us wrong. We compete.
Every night you play cards.
Every night we play cards.
Like Monday through Friday.
No. Every night I beat him at cards. I'll put it like that.
Let's go to the scoreboard.
But we just work together. Like, we have our little fuss and fights, and we argue with each other. But I mean, we've been together so long, it only lasts about 5 minutes, and he'll say something smart to make me laugh, or we just never kind of like let things fester.
No, we're like carefree.
Yeah, we just.
Our relationship,
he makes me laugh.
So at the end of the day,
if you can find somebody that makes you laugh, that's the key.
So, and I love it that you all have when you get an idea, I don't like to say download it because it's just so overused. But when you get these ideas in your heart or your mind, I love it that you act on them. So I know it may not have always been easy. So have there been any hesitations to beginning something different, and how did you overcome those, the small fears and jump into something new? What did you do to overcome, just start doing something different?
Well, for me, I've always been the kind of person where a challenge is always, if you tell me no, I'm going to figure a way out how to do it. If you say no. And when we started the school, everybody thought, how, because we had a grocery store before we did the school.
Oh,
wow. We had a grocery store
too.
and we had a soul food spot where we did food. So we've done a lot of different things. The grocery store was a really big hit, but then the war came and business went down. And so we kind of wanted to go back to what I knew. And that's when I started actually it was one of my grocery store clients. They came in and she asked me, she was leaving the area, and she asked me to start teaching these kids computers because she knew my background. So I said, okay. So we cleared out a room in the back of the grocery store and we started teaching. And we would have like little money management classes with them and how to do resume. I'm big on that resume and knowing how to, do finances and all that.
Money.
And the parents were bringing their kids, and then the parents wanted to know, well, do you have any classes for adults? And that's really how we got started. And I had several people say, well, you're probably not going to be able to get this school done. And I'm like, you know what? That's all you have to do is tell me no, and I'm going to get it done. So I've never really been stuck on, what I can't do. I always try to figure out what I can do, but I still, have insecurities about different things that, we may have let bypass us that could have maybe made us, multi-millionaires. But if it wasn't the right, honest, decent way to go, I wasn't doing it. So that's just who I am.
And then you have to be in the game in order to more or less prosper.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to be in it to win it. And right now, I started to take a list of like the stuff that we did, and like, it's a lot of stuff that we want to venture into.
And some of it was a lot of common sense too, because Rick, when we closed down the grocery store, he opened up a soul food place, and he would just do soul food there, and he was doing really well with it. And I was actually teaching computers at another side of the town. And I just came here one day. I was like, look, we're getting more and more people asking us to do repairs. And at that point, you can make $45 an hour to repair a computer opposed to selling a $5 lunch.
Yeah, $5 platter.
And then you got to go deliver it too, because he was doing delivery and,
They call me Mr. Do-It-All.
Yeah. And I was like, look,
I had to do to get it done.
We got to work smarter.
I did it.
So we closed down the soul food place, and he started doing the repairs in the building for the computers. And then the next thing we know, the school grows. So sales, we stopped doing sales and decided to go with the training because it was more lucrative.
Yeah. Right. And then he still went back to the food truck. He still got the food.
Yeah, we came full circle.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The food back in there. See, you all have gained so much, but just listening to you, it seems like you've given out so much more than you've gained, if that's possible.
Well, like Vanessa, I like the way you think. No, I'm just playing. I'm just like, thank you for that compliment. But we know we have to give back, and that's how we get our blessings. We've more or less been on this trek for like a long time. Trina has been on this trek as far as helping people above and beyond, and this is how we operate, and this is how we're gonna probably continue to operate until the end, because it's so rewarding for us.
And we've seen it. Our son just got a job working for Amazon as a bin manager, which is a brand new department, and he's 6 figures.
Yep.
Okay.
So our blessings.
No, go ahead.
Oh, like our blessings, it might not hit us, but it's going to hit somebody, and like what that does, it like illuminates everything. Me seeing you shine makes me shine, and that's my philosophy. And that's been my philosophy since I've more or less like retired. I look at things a whole lot differently than I did before, because I was I was in the race.
In the grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the race and did not really know how far deep I was into it. But when I more or less had time to think outside of the bubble, I'm like, wow. So now I need to redirect and make things a lot better because time is of the essence for everybody, young and old.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful though that you both seem to think alike. Maybe not about the same things, but you both have that entrepreneurial or that mentality to go for it. But I love it that seems like you've been very supportive of Trina throughout this, because a lot of guys might be intimidated with a woman that's doing so much and got so much on the ball. And you've been supportive of her. Seems like you all have been supportive of each other. There's this line in the movie. It's called Something's Gotta Give. I really like that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy says, how wonderful is it for you that I'm not intimidated by your brilliance? And so that's what I see here, because your wife is brilliant.
Yes,
Thank
You're
you.
in your own
Yes.
right. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
you all have
I
supported
agree.
each other in that, even though you did the food and she was doing computers, you came together still, and you helped her in the computers and she helped you with the food, and you all still moved forward.
I think
I've been blessed. I'm gonna tell you, my husband, I don't care what I do. He's like, all right, Trina, just tell me what I gotta do. He is always, from day one of any of my ideas, since I've known him, he's always supported me 1000%. He may argue and be mad that if it's something he don't feel like doing, but he's like, all right, Trina, that's his line. Okay, Trina, I'll do
Right.
whatever. He has followed my dream and been there to support whatever I have done my whole adult life. And we've been together since our 20s.
Okay. All right.
So
Well, I'm good for something. Thank you. Kudos. Thank you for
yeah, you're good for something.
Thank you for verbalizing.
No, don't even try it. Every time I get up, I ran for mayor and I did a lot of things in my life. And I've always made sure that I recognize my husband, because
absolutely.
you can't do that kind of stuff on your own. Not you don't do anything on your own. Somebody got to be in the rear watching out. He's
And
always been the listener.
And there's the tail.
Yeah, he's
a
always.
lot of times, like the tail gets a lot more worked than the head, even though like the head is up front. And
the head is the thinker.
Yeah. Well, like as far as the doer,
he gets it done. Yeah, he gets it done. One of the things I like about my husband is that we can go into a room or an environment, and he's talking because we're on this podcast. But if we go into a meeting or we're in any kind of environment, he does all the listening. And you need that when you're making business decisions or you're, just making community decisions. And he reads the people in the room. He's a good note taker. He always brings a pen. He's always writing notes. He's always being very perceptive of what's going on in the room, so that when we get back to the house or the office, he can say, okay, this is what I perceived. And then I can say what I perceived. And then we come up with a really good solution. So we always had that teamwork from day one.
So here's another assignment for you.
Okay.
When is your book coming out?
Listen, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I used to, getting back to like the construction days, and we were talking about some things that happened in I think it was 1985, 86. We were working at this nuclear plant, and we were dredging up to the snow. And what happened was, to make a long story short, the truck went off the road and it went into a ravine, and you could see the trees going by. Well, like at any rate, we got down to the end of the thing, and the truck hit the tree. But how he hit the tree, that's how he just tapped the tree. It's a little crease in like the front of the hood, and we laughed about that. Like the guy happened to come by, tow us out, and we went on our merry way, and we weren't even late. But that was a bigger element than we knew that was the bigger element than like the three of us in that truck for the way that we got. So yeah, I'm not. It was nothing but the man upstairs protecting us.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And like,
yes, he did.
we were just laughing about that, but we can laugh now. But that could have been like a travesty for all three of us who was in there. But like anyway, just like to make a long story short, that's like where like my philosophy comes from. All of my traits that I've wanted to check through in life. I mean, like right now, like some of the things, a lot of people don't even want to retrospect, but you gotta retrospect so you can get a firmer foundation sometimes.
Right.
And once you do that, you be able to navigate where you need to go. And that's what like me and this friend and I was talking about, reminiscing about old things, and like right now it's like a perfect match because I myself I don't like a whole lot of baggage, and like what I do, I just select my friends selectively because everybody has drama to a certain degree.
Yes.
No matter to what level you go, you're gonna still find it. And I try to want to keep my peace, and I try to keep my peace with my with like the head or with like training, so I can like want to maintain and be sane myself.
He doesn't want to hear my mouth.
Well, you know what? He's doing what needs to be done.
Happy life, happy wife. Happy wife, happy life.
That's right. I have been so encouraged listening to you all, and I think in this day and age, especially during the pandemic, even though sometimes we're coming out of it and then we're going back into it, but so many people have lost their jobs, have lost hope, and they don't know where to go or what to turn to. Your story can be very inspirational to them because, like you said, when the war hit, you had to change and do something else. You haven't let circumstances hinder you. So you just keep going and start something to do, and you keep on, doing what you have to do to not only make it, but to what's the word I'm looking for? To thrive. So you're not just surviving, you're thriving, and you're bringing other people along with you, and that's what's great about it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. That is this new project that we're working on. We hope, because they're only going to select a few vendors, and we're definitely excited about being one of those vendors that they select, because it'll give us an opportunity. Sometimes when you have a great product or a great service, people kind of shy away from you because you're changing people's lives. And especially when it's I won't call it political, but when you're working with agencies that are, they're the kind of agency that you would think would want to get the best results, but they want to satisfy their friends and their neighbors before they, outside of like really looking at a good product or service that can help the community. And we've experienced that for many years in trying to get students into our school that need us and need our services. So we're hoping that this new product or this new service that's coming down the pike will help us expand a little further than what we're doing. I mean, we've had, we've done a good job with our students, but we, if we had 10 people in the class, we should have had 20.
But those 10 people that were there,
benefited,
changed their lives.
Yes,
absolutely.
You see, that's the thing. You changed their lives. Even if people tried to stop you, like the lady who didn't want to advance you, but you kept going, and her firing you or however she let you go was the best thing that happened. Because you're free.
To do what I wanted to do.
Really expand exactly. So you touch more people afterwards.
Definitely. And I knew I had to get out of that environment. And luckily I wasn't fired. I went on a leave. I found out how to do the leave of absence thing, the stress leave thing. I figured out how to do that one. And that's how I left. And all those months leading up to it, I just had my faith in God. I was like, because I had a very expensive license I had to have working in the casino, and it was time for that to be renewed. And I sat there and I prayed on it, and I said, God, if I don't renew this license, I will work as hard as I have to so that I don't have to go backwards. And I just did. I never renewed the license. I never went back to the casino. I always, kept going forward in the company. And it was hard work. And people sometimes get an easier way or easier track. And I'm not mad at them, but I do know if you get it easy, it's going to take a lot of hard work to maintain it. Either way, you're going to work hard. Either way.
Yeah, either way. And you appreciate it so much more.
You do.
It just means so much more to you.
You definitely do.
I have really enjoyed this. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. I saw on the computer somewhere people were not watching television. They would just meet at the library. Random people. Mm-hmm. And I would sit in one chair, someone else would sit across from me, and then we just random strangers chat. Okay. And they would share things like you shared, So instead of reading somebody's biography or autobiography, you get to talk to that person.
Right.
Mm. I just thought it was a wonderful thing to do. You get to know people because we don't know unless we sit down and chat.
You're right.
Well, I think too, that's what Zoom and all these online platforms have done through the pandemic. That is a good thing that's come out of it, because now, I mean, people, it's just ease of use. People, let's do a Zoom, and people feel more comfortable. They're in their comfortable environment, and they don't mind. Even now when you get on the phone today and you're dealing with maybe the bank or the electric company or some utility company, you tend to get a conversation from people that you wouldn't get pre-pandemic because they're working from home. They're more comfortable. There's no stress. No, they just feel more comfortable, and they're nicer. I think they seem to be nicer, and they don't mind talking to you because you are the person that they brings them to the outside world because they're so self-contained inside their environment. So I think it's a good thing. I don't think that it works for everyone. There are people that, they got to be in front of somebody. But I think like this Zoom, we don't get to be interviewed. That's why I always tell Lynette, because she's like, oh, you guys can go on and talk. Y'all do. We love being interviewed better than being the interviewer or the, the host.
On that side of the track for a while.
Because it makes us think, And you did a very good job.
Yes,
I would love to have you come on again and host. Yes, very good.
Goodness. Thank you. That's so kind. I have really enjoyed getting to know you.
Well, thank you. Same for us. Same for us.
Yeah. I'm encouraged. And so I just wish you much, much more success than you have already had.
Thank you so much.
You're blessing people and God is blessing you.
That's the way it's supposed to go. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Tune in each week for Tripping with the Birds on WGMLB Internet Radio, heard on WGMLB.com, listen live, or viewed on YouTube channel DJ Straight and Facebook WGMLB Internet Radio.